Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So something big is going to happen tomorrow. A big decision will be made by the SEC. And because of it, Bitcoin could be pumping. So let's talk about this major thing that's happening tomorrow and what else we can expect. So let's do this. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. Bitcoin and the U.S. market kind of stagnant today. Went up a little bit, not too much movement, but tomorrow could be absolutely huge. But before I get to that, I just want to showcase this chart because obviously there's a lot of attention on inflation, right? And we saw CPI numbers show inflation going up slightly, but overall it's down. But look at this. Someone posted this on Twitter, and man, I really hope this does not happen. This is comparing inflation from 2013 all the way till now, right, to 1966 to 1982. And if you stack them on top of each other, ooh, looks so similar. So will we see, right, I don't know, will we see inflation go down, okay, to, I don't know, the 2% mark that Fed Powell wants to see, and then something disastrous happens and inflation starts skyrocketing again? Hopefully not. Hopefully not, because if we're following the same trend, man, watch out. If we hit 14 or 15% inflation, that would be catastrophic, right? But man, they do look very similar. Let's hope we do not get to that point. But going back to tomorrow, what's happening tomorrow? Okay, we got a major, enormously huge, major decision about the very first Bitcoin spot ETF. Now, this is supposed to be decided by Sunday. Obviously, the SEC doesn't work on Sunday, I don't think. And I don't think they work on Saturday either. So most are thinking that they will announce something tomorrow, okay, on Friday. And this is for ARK Invest, their Bitcoin spot ETF. And it's the ARK 21 shares Bitcoin ETF, right? So we will see what happens, okay, if the SEC just caves and says, you know, what's the point of delaying this until January, February, right? It's going to happen. Let's get it done. Let's just approve it, right? If this happens tomorrow, my God, tomorrow we will see a rally unlike anything we have seen for years, maybe possibly in Bitcoin's lifespan, right? Bitcoin is so squeezed right now between its upper and lower bands. From a technical standpoint, it is very squeezed, very low volatility, just needs to have that one catalyst, and everything will fall together. FOMO, the short squeezes, right? Billions of dollars flowing in. I mean, this is what we're waiting for right now. Asterisk. I personally think this will not be approved tomorrow. I think the SEC will say, we need more time, okay? And they're going to drag their feet. There's like 5 deadlines, and they're going to keep dragging this to probably January, because the last decision for ARKs is in January, okay? Now, all the others of BlackRock and everything else is in March, but this is the very first one. So this will set the tone for everything else. If it gets approved, basically all of those will get approved afterwards. If this gets denied, there's still a chance that the BlackRock one gets approved, but it'll be interesting to see what the SEC says about why ARKs was denied, right? So yeah, so we'll see. If this gets approved tomorrow, man, watch out. Bitcoin could be at like 50,000 by the end of the day. Okay, if it happens. I don't think it's going to happen, but who knows? Maybe the SEC is in a really bad spot. Maybe they're getting a lot of pressure from Larry Fink. getting calls from them saying, hey, just make this happen, right? Or else, I don't know, but this will probably come tomorrow. There will be a decision. It could also be a rejection. Let's be honest. It could be a rejection. Maybe to deny it because of some technicality. I don't know, like something small that they find. But I think it's more going to be like a delay, right? They're going to say we need more time. But who knows? Who knows? All right, so that's the major thing that is coming up tomorrow, right? Of course, a lot of executives already, of course, Cathie Wood herself and Mike Novogratz, basically every top executive thinks this is a done deal. It's 100% going to be approved. It's just a matter of when, not if, right? So is it going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be January, right? Mike Novogratz said that he's hearing from insiders that it's going to be 46 months. So that's right around that January time frame. So most likely it's going to be approved then, but who knows? Maybe Gary is going to surprise the market and be a good guy and get everyone to love him with this approval. I don't know, but I mean, so many people are arguing the upside is going to be phenomenal. I mean, we're talking about billions upon billions upon billions flowing in once it gets approved. And keep in mind, this is all right in front of the halving event that's coming up in April. So imagine you get 8 Bitcoin SPY ETFs approved 2 months before the halving event, right? How bullish is that? And that's probably right when Powell's going to announce a rate cut too, okay? So you got the trifecta. I mean, next year is going to be fabulous, absolutely fabulous, and we're not too far off from there. Okay, so yeah, leading up to the halving event, this is what it looks like, right? You have a bull run, you have a bear cycle, or a crypto winter. Then you got a pre-bull, which is just like a recovery, right? And then you have that bull run again, right? So it's going according to pattern. But this time around, in our bull run after the halving event or leading up to halving event, there's so many catalysts to drive it even higher, right? So good stuff, good stuff. And according to Bitquant, if you're looking at Fibonacci levels, this next leg up will bring Bitcoin to $215,000. I mean, that's in line with a lot of other people's predictions. Okay, Tim Draper's like 250,000. Cathie Wood said it's like 1.6 million by 2030. So I don't know what she says about 2025, but so many others also think that we're going to be in a 200,000 range. So think about that. All right, so outside of ETF news and Bitcoin, what else is going on? There's a lot of stuff. Coinbase news, Coinbase Ventures buys an undisclosed amount of Rocket Pool tokens. Rocket Pool is a liquid staking provider for ETH, and they surged today. But Coinbase itself, you know, they're not just investing; they also came out with their own chain. Base, right? Base, 10 million inflow on launch day, but 166 million ahead of launch. So they got quite a large number of ETH and stablecoins already on Base. So we'll see where this goes. Are they going to be a top L2 like all the other ones out there? Quite possibly, but the thing is, you can't really make money from it. They don't have a Base token. It's just all ETH. Unlike Optimism or Arbitrum, you could buy a governance token and try to profit that way. With Base, there is none. But will Coinbase one day say, well, maybe we need to come out with their own Base token? I don't know, because they're regulated and they have their stock. I don't think so, but it's interesting. It's interesting to see that they have their own L2. And I know a lot of dApp makers that I talk to, they're always looking for grants from these L1s, L2s, right? And some like Miston Labs, Asui, and Aptos, you know, even ICP, you know, some of these projects are giving out huge grants to incentivize new dApps, new games, right? New DeFi projects. So we'll see if Coinbase does the same thing. But yeah. So Coinbase is going in the right direction. Gemini, speaking of another big U.S. exchange, Gemini, finally, they were teasing about it, teasing about relisting XRP, and it finally happened. I don't know what took so long, and you have to update your mobile app for it, but I mean, XRP is already listed, relisted on all major exchanges, really everywhere. Not sure why it took Gemini so long, but if you are a Gemini fan, you can now trade XRP again. And they still offer fiat on-ramp, off-ramp. They haven't been rocked by anything like that. So I know the other day someone asked me, what's the best fiat on-ramp, off-ramp to the U.S., right? I answered Coinbase, even though I don't have an account with Coinbase. I said that because they are the biggest. But Gemini is also a good alternative in case you're looking for one. Jesse says, you are giving me FOMO. Well, that's good, right? That's good. It's better than herpes. What else is going on with Gemini? Well, they are suing DCG and Barry Silbert. I think a lot of people forgot about this. But, Gemini has their earn program. They had their earn program. And, it was offered by DCG and Barry Silbert, and it collapsed, right? So Gemini is still in a nasty lawsuit with both. And, of course, both are trying to dismiss it, saying that, it's just the Winklevoss twins trying to spread or deflect blame. It's really their fault. So they're still in a nasty lawsuit. We'll see where this heads. But, yeah, so I don't know how many of you guys have your money locked in Gemini Earn. The good thing is, a lot of people are starting to get their money out of, like, Celsius, for example, Voyager, like at least a little bit out there, right? Hopefully more of that is coming. I don't know what's going on with FTX. So hopefully a lot of you guys don't have money locked in Gemini Earn. What else is there? PayPal stablecoin. I just saw someone in the chat saying, you're right, George. Don't trust PayPal. Yeah, no one could trust PayPal. I know PayPal is an absolutely huge company. 400 million users worldwide. They're definitely a fintech powerhouse. But those of you guys that have really used it, especially as a seller, knows my pain and knows about the fishiness and the shadiness of PayPal. I mean, there are some instances it's just like you can't believe what's happening, right? I know they cater to buyers, the buyer's protection program, chargeback claim, right? Anything they really favor buyers. But as a seller, man, sometimes you just really get shafted. And they definitely have been known to freeze accounts, lock up your money, take forever to give it back, and ask for all these personal information that they have no business of getting. So that's why a lot of people do not trust, including myself, their new stablecoin, right? It gives them a whole lot of power and gives them the same kind of power that their normal platform has, which is the ability to like freeze accounts and lock your funds and take your funds away from you and all this stuff, right? So I don't know. I just don't trust their stablecoin. And we have a Congresswoman, Maxine Walters, that also says she's deeply concerned, right? So I don't know. A lot of people made a big deal about this, but I still don't trust them. And Circle CEO urges the industry to keep dollar stablecoins onshore. It's better to be in the U.S. than everywhere else, right? I guess that's his point, and that's true, right? But the U.S. still has a lot of regulatory issues to sort out between the SEC and CFTC. CFTC thinks stablecoins are commodities. SEC disagrees. SEC thinks stablecoins are securities too. So you got two agencies that's kind of battling it out. Don't know who's going to win, but I definitely think stablecoins should fall under CFTC's jurisdiction. Like, you're not making any money by buying a stablecoin. You're doing it because you want, basically, the digital equivalent of the dollar, right? So I don't get that argument. I guess if you like try to stake it or lend it or something like that, but I don't know. That's pretty much it. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. Let's see what Gary and SEC says about ARK's Bitcoin spot ETF. All right, let's do some Q&A. Carter says, or no, Diana or Dana's World said, PayPal asked me for my driver license, and I said goodbye. Hey, they asked for a lot more than that. They ask for receipts. They do credit checks. They ask you, you know, for invoices. I mean, they ask way more than they should sometimes. Let's see. Robert says left PayPal years ago. Let's see if I miss anything on the top there. Jerry, I will give Gary Gensler and Larry Fink a free CryptosRus membership if BTC ETF is approved. I hope they're listening. Let's see here. Crypto Surge asks, have you driven a F90? No, I have not. I have not. Leo, new member. Welcome. Any more banks go belly up today? No. No, I have not heard of any other banks. You know, banks, the regional banks and smaller banks, they get to borrow from the Fed. Fed has this emergency program to lend them money, so that's why you don't hear about more collapses. Because they're basically borrowing money to make sure they have enough liquidity, right? If your country froze banks, what would you do? Well, then you're kind of screwed, right? I mean, that happens all the time. If your country, I don't know, the FBI or CIA, Department of Justice, IRS, whoever, I'm just naming ones, agencies in the U.S., if they're coming after you, they'll freeze your assets. But you know what they can't freeze? Your Bitcoin wallet, your ETH wallet, any crypto wallet. They can't freeze it because they have no control over it, right? They may try to compel you to give them your private key or password, but they can't automatically freeze it. But with banks, they can. They'll just take control of that right away. They'll freeze your credit cards, your debit card, any trading account, any brokerage account. Can Cardano overtake Bitcoin's market cap? Is it theoretically possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. No. XRP at one point in time did surpass Bitcoin's market cap back in 2018. So is it possible for some random token to pass it? Yes. Is it likely to pass it and stay above? No. Who knows? I will never bend the knee to my seed phrase. Good. Do what Sailor said. Say you had a boating accident and you forgot it or lost it. What do you think about Ronin Network? The gaming blockchain from Axie Infinity founders. That's their that's their bridge. I can't say good things about it because it suffered probably the largest hack in crypto history. $650 million lost to hackers. And I don't know how they recouped that, if they ever did. So I can't say I'm a fan of it. Man versus Machine, welcome. Another two new members today. Welcome. ETF tomorrow, I just can't imagine. I can't either. I mean, I'm trying to set realistic expectations, right? I told you guys. I don't think it's going to be approved tomorrow. If it does, it will shock the world, and Bitcoin will probably pump up to 50,000. No joke. Okay. Seeing how constrained and low volatile or less volatile Bitcoin is these days, I mean, we could see something crazy. But to be honest, I don't think it's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is the SEC will say we're still reviewing. We need more time, and they're going to push it back like a few months, and they're going to push it back a few more months. They're going to keep pushing it back until January when they can no longer push it back and then approve, right? But who knows? Maybe Larry's been talking to Gary and saying, hey, I got 10 million worth of Bitcoin on this ledger that I'll, sneak under your door, right? Just make this happen. You go be a rich man or a richer man. I don't know. Larry has his ways. Please compare a pic of Gary G to Dobby from Harry Potter. Who's more lifelike? I don't even know who that is. I've never been a big Harry Potter fan, so I can't say. Sheeb is pumping, probably due to, Shibarium, right? 3%. Hey, 19%. 19% in the last 7 days. Not too bad. They're about to drop a 0. That's always good. That's always good. Jerry says, BTC goes to 50K tomorrow, I'll retire. Well, then you're not too far off. 30K to 50K, that's less than double. That means you're pretty close to retirement already. So congratulations. Any thoughts on Wrap BTC on Cardano? No, I don't. I guess good. Good for Cardano's DeFi ecosystem. You know what's interesting is today I talked to 2 very promising Bitcoin DeFi projects. One is it's kind of like Curve for Bitcoin. They concentrate on their DEX that's concentrating on trading stablecoins and different versions of Bitcoin, which is actually quite interesting. And there's another one that is in NFTs, lending out ordinals. They're both using stacks, but on top of Bitcoin. I mean, it's actually kind of crazy to think about. There's a lot of DeFi projects that are coming out for the first time on top of Bitcoin. Even though Bitcoin has been out since 2009, this is the first time you got DeFi that's actually being built on top of Bitcoin. So actually, it's quite interesting. It's like going back to 2017 when DeFi was being built for ETH. It feels like that. But what does that mean? It means just more utility. More utility for Bitcoin. It's going to draw in more users. And again, that's great overall. 2.5 million needed to retire. I mean, honestly, you could retire with $1 million. If you're careful with your spending, you're investing wisely, you could retire with $1 million. Here's the thing, you know, $1 million doesn't seem like a lot, okay? But think about this. A lot of you guys are probably making six figures, right? Maybe 100, 150, 200,000. And you figure, okay, if I'm making 200,000, that's only 5 years to make $1 million, right? But the thing is, most people, if they're making 200,000, what are they doing? They're spending 200,000 a year, right? With their house, with their cars, with their vacations, with, I don't know, their streaming services, with their eating out, with purchasing of toys. There's so many people, even though they make so much, their spend is just as much, and literally they're still living paycheck to paycheck, right? I was like that too. When you live paycheck to paycheck, even though you're making six-figure plus, it's actually really bad if you think about it, right? Especially if you have family too. Sometimes it's not your fault. You have to pay for daycare or nanny, you know, bring your kids to the doctors. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens, right? But if you had $1 million in cash, right, with no debt, no liabilities, that's very different than saying making $200,000 a year with a ton of debt and liabilities. So that's why I feel like anyone could retire with $1 million as long as, you know, you keep your spending down and you live a frugal life and you invest wisely. You know, maybe take a portion of that and invest. I think that's enough for retirement. Thoughts on Pepe? MACD crossing up. You know, there's no point of charting Pepe. I mean, I'm honestly, there's no point of charting Pepe because it's going to do its thing. It's go pump or dump, and it's really not dependent on MACD or any signal. It's a meme coin. It doesn't have any utility. So I just don't see any point of charting it. 80, if you want to buy Pepe, you think it's low, or if you think it looks good on a chart, you know what? Then just scoop some up. I think Pepe will do very well in the next bull market. I really think it will. Can it get into the billions? Yes, I do think so. 33.3K a year. It would take 30 years to make $1 million. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Credit card debt just hit $1 trillion. I saw something about credit card. I saw this morning. Something about credit card debt is at all-time high or something, which is no good. I saw this too. 10 priciest vacation spots. Surprisingly, two are, well, actually not surprising. Maui right now, I'm hearing just total devastation. So I feel really bad for everyone that is in Maui right now. I can't believe some of the pictures I've seen. It's complete devastation, all burned by those forest fires. It's kind of crazy. But Park City I've been to, beautiful city, especially for skiing in the winter. Aspen, of course, for skiing as well. Monte Carlo, you got Switzerland, Gustavia, London. London's that expensive for vacation? What about living there? I bet a lot of you guys watching is from London. Maybe not. Maybe no, it's probably like middle of the night for London. London is that expensive? What are your thoughts on CRO with their Visa card? I don't know. It doesn't really entice me. CRO, you know, they started out with their debit cards, moved to exchange. They have their chain, DeFi. I mean, they seem like a good enough project, but it doesn't really excite me. I invested $82K. Would I hit $1 million? Your thoughts? It's an ambitious goal, but yes, it can happen if you invest wisely. in the right projects and don't make a lot of mistakes. It can happen, although it's tough. I would say it's tough. Not that tough. Not that tough, not that easy. All right, guys. From London, 3 a.m. You're still watching me at 3 a.m.? Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for showing up. All right, guys. Get some sleep tonight. Tonight we'll dream about a spot Bitcoin ETF being approved tomorrow. We'll see if it actually happens. If it does, Bitcoin is going to fly like crazy. If not, we just have to wait a little bit longer. Okay? So smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.